Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Lady Nyca in with another episode review. We are talking Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 13, episode 2, entitled The New Peach in the Orchard, honey. The New Peach in the Orchard is what they called this. And it was quite interesting. It was very, very interesting to be exact because I actually paid attention to the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13 tagline. I didn't pay too much attention to that at first. So we're going to try to recap what the taglines are um, this season. Let me see if I can get to them because I want to give them to you. hmm And I hope you all are having pretty good uh a pretty good one, y'all. Now, I hope you're having a pretty good start to your work week anyway. Now, we got Kenya, whose tagline is, if you don't like my shade, then step out of my shadow. Candy said, a little candy always helps sweeten the tea. Miss Drew Sadora, who we learned of tonight, was her tagline is, I was in the game, but now I'm calling all the plays. Cynthia Bailey, I've been through the peaks and the valleys. Now I'm headed over heels. And Portia, I may be social distancing, but I'm here for social justice. And those are the taglines of the women of the Real Housewives of Atlanta for season 13. So get into it, okay? We open up with Cynthia going to visit Kenya. She brings wine for them and a gift for little Brooklyn. Kenya says she also wanted to invite Latoya. Now, Cynthia feels like, you ain't been knowing Miss Latoya too long, but, you inviting her to your house or whatnot. That was her decision to do. Child, she is Trinidadian. Uh huh. She went on to say that when she arrived, that it was a nice chill spot on Kenya's patio, but hot, and she sweats in the heat. Now, what threw me by Miss what threw me off about Miss Latoya was, first of all, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to feel Miss Latoya in this season, but we're gonna give her a chance because this is only episode 2. Why was she smelling under her armpits, y'all? Do she not use deodorant? Girl, secret much? Mm. They move on to talking about Trinidadian men who cheat, you know, told us the definition of them are horners. Well, girl, over here in America, we just call them some low down motherfuckers and we keep it moving. Kenya seems to like old girl and says she's taking her from Candy because we all know we were first introduced to Latoya as Candy's friend, but Candy says she a bit too much to take. Well, all I can say about that is you can't be friends with an extra bitch. Look at me. I got many of them, okay? And I can be quite extra. But anyway, Child was Kenya was like she likes to turn up, but not until her current situation is handled. We learned that Latoya has 3 kids and a hubby, and they still live together, although they're supposed to be separating. Okay. Kenya said Mark has not said anything yet because he's still angry, and we learned that in Trinidad it's called being in his tabaka. Okay. Tabaka means love that isn't rewarded or returned, thereby causing a shift in one's everyday behavior. Okay. Latoya say Trini men go through it a while, and Kenya said, well, she ain't got time to be waiting on him to come up out of his tobacco. So, you know, he will just have to deal with what's about to happen. Cynthia then invites them both to have uh, over the Lake Bailey for a wine tasting. She want to sample some wines from black-owned businesses to see which one may be able to, she may want to actually offer in her wine cellar business she has, you know, and both of them accepted it. The day after Portia's arrest, that's where we is. She's out. At her house, Mama Diane and Lauren are there playing with PJ, and Portia calls via the FaceTime to see her child and to talk to her family. They discussed her mug shot and the conditions in the jail, and she said that although she had some scary times, she'll do it again. She said it was nothing like being able to walk out of that jail right into the arms of Miss Tamika Palmer, who is the mother of the deceased Breonna Taylor. And the hug that she got from that woman just got her uh, feeling some kind of way. I'll say this, like I said last week, Portia is passionate about her activism, and it's nice. It's a nice change for her. Kudos to Portia for doing what she needs to do and carrying on the legacy that was started by her grandfather, the late great Hosea Williams. Her mom and sister was just glad to hear that she is safe and that she is flying out to come home later that day. Now, Drew, who is a friend of Cynthia, are out together having drinks later, right? Drew Sidora, in Cynthia words, is a talented actress and songstress. She met her through her love bug Eva, who is not on the show this season. They've been hanging out and she likes her. They talk about quarantine sex and how Drew is able to matriculate around the boot that she got on her foot, extending up her leg. We talk about how she sustained that injury while working. We learned that she's also worked with Noel's dad, Cynthia ex Leon, and they seem to have hit it off well. We learned that she's also been in Atlanta for a year. She liked the family atmosphere. She wants to work, there with various people, that to include Tyler Perry. Cynthia invited her to the wine tasting and to meet the girls. In a typical Real Housewives of Atlanta fashion, she's asking if Kenya, Drew know Kenya. Perhaps they met in LA, doing their acting days and roles. Drew said they haven't met, but perhaps they go for different types of roles, and then the age thing began to be played there. Um, well, she could be like a big sister or a mother to Drew. I said, all right. She's been doing acting since 8, she said. She was the T-Boz in the TLC movie biopic. And we ran down all her accolades and she, desires to do more. We spoke about her husband, Ralph, who she calls him her caretaker. Then Cynthia said that she and Drew should go out one night with their men on a couple night. And of course, she agreed to that. Then we saw her family life later on. Daughter Anaya, who seemed like a pretty smart little girl, definitely cute. Her mama, Pastor Jeanette, comes in with a beautiful bouquet of flowers singing happy anniversary because it's her and Ralph's 6th anniversary. Ralph is there being, he the hubby. We learned he and I-Tech, they got 3 kids together, been married for 6 years and together for 6.5 years. Yeah, I said it. She met him on the tour for the TLC biopic, dated 3 months, married 6 months later, and at that time she had one son, Josiah, from a previous relationship. Mama want them to attend praise and worship on Sunday. Mama Jeanette, or Pastor Jeanette, as we will refer to her in these reviews, come from Chicago. She came to help Ralph with the kids when Drew had her first surgery. Then Sea13 hit, and she been there ever since. Drew said it's hard at times living together because Mama tends to bust in sometime trying to, and they in the middle of trying to have married folks time and whatnot, and so that can be a little bit awkward. And Mama's very opinionated. Hmm. They agreed to go ahead and watch. I mean, they agreed to come to services on if she agreed to watch the kids that night, the next day, and right after service. So she got to do 3 tours of babysitting for them to go to praise and worship, which would ultimately, be good for their lives, not so much their mom. But anyway, child, she agreed. They gonna do it that way. All right. Child, Mama Joyce and Candy headed to Riley graduation due to what Mama Joyce calls the covert. Only two people can attend. Mama Jella said she hoped to make it to Riley's next graduation after this, which will be 4 years ahead because she getting so old. We learned Candy graduation was a bit different as well. She was actually touring with Escape at that time, and she actually flew in to attend her graduation. And the group wasn't too pleased because by her doing that, she was almost late to getting back for their concert or whatnot. We see them arrive, they don their mask and everything, being safe as they should. Candy had the typical feelings a mom has when their kid graduates. She happy but sad. Happy it's over with, but kind of sad because at this point she is now an adult and she'll be moving on shortly, right? Going away to school. We see Portia came home. She in the kitchen talking with Mama Diane and fixing PJ food. Then we moved to how her experience over in Louisville, Kentucky was because her mama said she was worried. Portia said it was times when she was afraid, but it didn't deter her. She thought about how her grandfather must have felt doing it over and over again. Then baby PJ had a small temper tantrum, but Portia calmed her down. She said she's gonna have to keep doing what she's doing and continue her life there, 'cause she's got situations with Dish and other projects that she's involved with. So she gonna have to figure out how to make all of that work. Then Diane said she did feel better because Dennis was there with Portia, and Portia said it was good to have him and his support there with her. An investigation into the death was the result of the protest. So she's always, happy about that. She's going to continue to do her part to fight the good fight for equality amongst her people. hmm Then she began to talk about her and Dennis will have to have a sit down to talk about their relationship and the evolution of it through the changes occurring in her life and around the world. She said that their arguments are toxic because they're so closed in and everything is going on in the world. Simple shit can take you to a level 10. And to be honest, she's been irritated by a lot of things. I said, oh, is Portia beginning to really evolve and understand what she got? I don't know. I don't keep up with the blogs. I'm sure y'all will tell me. So it's wine tasting day at Lake Bailey. And all the girls head over to Cynthia. Kenya and Latoya comes there together, looking cute. Chandler, Cynthia's assistant, lets him in, and Mike greets them as well. Then he leaves to let the women do their thing. She invited them to some hors d'oeuvres, and immediately Miss Latoya begins to shade that she likes cold meatballs, but they are good. Cynthia said she needed to slow her roll because on that shade because she's still getting to know her. But we all know Cynthia said that in the confessionals, right? Then Marlo and her face shield arrived, and I was like, Marlo is really being safe out here in these pandemic times. Go ahead, Marlo. Cynthia sent Marlo by Kenya and said they should be able to. Hey, Kenya said, yeah, we ladies, some act and some are. I said, oh, immediately. Kenya said Marlo has fallen off into a dragnet, basically saying the woman then fell off financially because of the way she looked. But child, whatever. I wasn't even giving it too much because most of the time Marlo is short. Okay, now how she get it ain't we gonna talk about that, but she usually short. Cynthia says Drew is who they waiting on. And Kenya in her confessional said, who is she? She said that the girl basically was accepting people, she always taking in a stray. Child, she said the woman was always taking in a stray. Do she go to the local pound to get them? I was done. Okay, let me see. While they was there, they brought up the fact that Kenya almost messed up Cynthia's proposal date. Of course, that made Latoya want to know more. Kenya basically said almost, but she said in confessional. And side note, I was here for Kenya's confessional. Baby, that Egyptian look, Egyptian meets Mother Earth, Mother Africa look. Oh, that was everything. She rocked it. Yes, God, honey. I like that look. Anyway, she said that she felt really bad about Cynthia's proposal situation and she really do want to make it right and now just support a friend. And that's cool. Now, at Candy's, they back from graduation. Candy got a bouquet of flowers for her daughter, which she said she preferred cash instead. Riley opened she opened Riley diploma, and she did the same thing I did. It's just something about having that piece of paper in your hand, and that's your A. Baby, it's a sense of accomplishment for you and her. Okay? Ace was so cute. He was congratulating her. Todd gave her the gifts that keep on giving. He gave her some coins, which made her and Mama Joyce very happy. Congratulations, Riley girl. Congratulations. I still say, what did you do to your face? But congratulations, nevertheless. Now let's go back to Cynthia's house because Latoya said her sugar daddy bought her first car. Marlo said Latoya needs to teach her how to get one. Now, Marlo, I had to agree, child, with Kenya. That older white man that you had was your sugar daddy. And you didn't just call him no sugar daddy because the girls were so willingly calling him that. You calling him that because that's who he was, girl. Did you forget? And then Real Housewives of Atlanta is famous for this. They went right back to their reunion where she was talking about her friend had bought her house, her mama house, and all this stuff that this man had allegedly done for her. Girl, yeah. Latoya said she met her sugar daddy during her stripper days. Then it became a thing to define sugar daddy, and it's an older individual male who gives monetary gifts and possessions in exchange for time or sexual behavior. Then Kenya asked Latoya why was she directing it at her, and she said, they started playing with each other, touching each other hair. She touched that girl hair, and the girl started talking about, you want to pull it, don't it? Pull it, and was telling Kenya to pull it, child. And I felt like God damn, I felt like I did when I first told y'all about that stereo application over there. I said I felt like I was a warrior. And watching them two with that energy that was between the two of them made me a little nervous too. I said, oh, even Mike, who came back to grab a snack, paused at the interaction between Kenya and Marlo. I mean, Kenya and Latoya, and Marlo was confused as well. We was all trying to figure that out. Then Ralph and Drew arrived, and apparently Mike and Ralph hit it off well. Cynthia like that. That's when Kenya said the confessional stuff about the girl going to the pound to pick up strays. She said she was underwhelmed by Drew, but her husband not so much. Kenya. But they marriage so jacked up, girl. You wouldn't want this man, Kenya. What we learned at the end of this episode, if for Kenya to be so attracted to Drew, you attracted to another Mark, if not worse, girl. Anyway, then the men went off to allow the women to do their thing. One of them asked what happened to her leg. And Drew went to explaining what happened with her leg. All of a sudden, Latoya interrupted and said she didn't want to hear it and started asking for more wine and went off into Cynthia kitchen area to get that. And I was like, girl, you kind of rude. Then Drew and Kenya was talking about people they may know in Hollywood since they've never met. And Latoya just comes back talking about, see, this is why I don't like you. And everybody was like, wait a minute, what? Latoya was talking about because she broke up Melanie and Derwin on the game. Child, remember, she was the side chick on the show. But Drew said in real life, people really took that to heart and even wanted to fight her after that show. I said, girl, I understand. We get down here on YouTube and say two or three words, and bitches be want to look up our address and swear they gonna pull up, but so I get it. That was taking it a little too far. Then Marlo asked Drew if she was working and said that yeah. She said yes, and Marlo said, well, good, maybe you can get Kenya a job. At first, Drew was confused, like, what the hell? But then she realized they really are coming for each other, so she decided she just gonna drink more and just listen. In the kitchen, Marlo is telling Latoya, don't tell Kenya all her business because she'll use it against you later. And went on to say that Kenya can't keep a man if Jesus paid her. You can't either, bitch. Okay. Anyway, then Cynthia took all the ladies outside to the nice little setup. Kenya brought up the wedding, and Cynthia said she didn't even want to discuss it because stuff keeps changing. In confessional, she said she and Mike still doesn't understand why she wants all of her friends and family to attend. So instead of them arguing, they're gonna wait and see what the governor says as they get closer to their date. Ralph and Mike was outside discussing adjusting to married life. Ralph discusses it is how it is a strain having a mother-in-law who has a strong personality in the home, and how from time to time he leaves when it's too much for him. Mike said, well, he understands this will be his second marriage, he ain't got all the answers, but he there to support. Now the ladies are now at the wine tasting stage of this party. And Cynthia just said that she basically, as a black-owned business, she wants to also not only just, endorse her, but she also would like to help a black-owned business as well. So all of the wines that they're tasting comes from various black-owned businesses. And child, I know they had to been getting drunk because they was tasting wine after wine after wine, and wasn't nobody spitting. Kenya put a pause on it a little bit because she has to drive. Then Latoya says she gonna hook Kenya up with someone, and says that even though Kenya and her husband are still married, they separated so she can do whatever she want to do. And then there was a whole debate about separation versus divorce. Drew said no, she can't do what she wants to because separation does not mean that they're over. It just means that they need time to decide if they want to be in the marriage or not. Not a time to be busting it wide open. Latoya feels differently. Then Drew said her and her husband will say they're divorcing, talk about lawyers and all that, and it'll just be this conversation because they're in the heat of the moment. Then she went on to say something that threw me for a loop. She said that her husband had left the week before for 3 days and didn't tell her where he was. And I was like, Cynthia, uh. She said he's a runner. And if it's getting too heated to where they won't be able to come back from what is said, he just separates until things cool off. Hmm. Okay. Cynthia and Kenya go in for a minute, and Kenya not sure how long Drew and Latoya gonna get into it because Latoya had already did a little number on her about her hair, talking about it. So what was it, a poodle or something like that? I don't know. Latoya was shading Drew weed. That's all I know. Then Kenya says that she's decided that she's gonna file for custody action and then divorce. She says she will talk to Mark about it first because she don't want it to be a surprise, but she has to do something at this point to take back her life. And I said, very good. Then Kenya comes and gets Toya so they can leave, and they do all that fake love and hug, and we gonna get together again soon, yada yada yada. Then we saw a moment with Candy where all of them had to face the reality that they've been getting a little porky, as we all have in these crucial pandemic times. We quarantine. We ain't got nothing else to do but eat. Portia tries yoga. Candy ate Riley cake. And Kenya weighed herself and was like, you gotta be kidding me. Child, it'll be all right. Better days are coming. Now, this is the part of the episode that threw me. We over at Drew and Ralph's house, right? He done had this nice little setup put up for their anniversary. She get there. She sits at the table. They toast their wedding anniversary. And she said for their seventh anniversary, she would like to have a wedding. So apparently they ain't had no real wedding. He ain't trying to hit it. It ain't working for him. So they get to talking about. He asked her, "What is it that she don't like that happens in their relationship?" And I can't stand a man that asks me a question and then sit there and help me answer my question. She said that transparency is missing because he leaves without telling her. He said he leaves because it's spur of the moment and it's best. Um, Then he went into this spiel about being the first in his family to create a true legacy. She agreed and said she's not getting, you know, why he went all the way there, but he's still avoiding the question. The question is, where did you go and why did you go without telling me? He didn't take her calls or text messages during those 3 days he went hiatus, even though he claims he did. She still want him to understand how, as a married man, you cannot just get up and leave without saying something to your wife and be gone so long. She wants to know where he was. He said at the beach. It took him forever to finally say he went to Miami. And she was like, first of all, we ain't never went to Miami. Why would you pass all of these places that have beaches and lakes just to go to Miami? So she got a good eye on that. And then she brought up, and you be, while you off on these excursions, while you watching me, I don't know where you at or what you could be doing. It could be something wrong with the kids, anything. And let us not forget, she said a year ago, she found a picture in his phone from him watching her while he was on one of his hiatuses. So he has cameras installed all throughout their house. And when he leaves, he's able to see what she got going on, but he ain't able she not able to know what he got going on. He claimed like he be answering phone calls and text messages. She say he don't. So it came down to her basically asking him, look, be honest with me. And if you're not honest with me, I'm going to get up and walk away from this table. Did you record us? Now, because he has deleted the picture that she got from his recording out of his phone, he think he can just piss in her face and tell her it's raining. And she like, no. Did you or did you not record us? He said no, and she got up and walked away. She said that she can't keep doing that. He not gonna keep lying to her and playing with her because if she can't get a solid answer and an understanding as to what's going on in their relationship, she don't have very much optimism when it comes to them. And basically, she walked away. You could hear her upset, crying, talking to the producers over there at the Real Housewives of Atlanta situation. Girl, that's a mess. I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't no married man I know can leave his house mad at his wife for 2 or 3 days at a time and the wife not know nothing about it and she's supposed to just sit there and wait on you to return. And then the killing part was really the fact that he's recording the whole family while he's away. They don't know what he doing, but he can see everything she doing. Mm. This is going to be quite the interesting season with those two right there. I look forward to it. But that's all I felt like talking about on this episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. If I left anything out you feel is important, please drop it down below in the panic section, also known as my comments. Let me know what you think. And tell me, married women, how do you feel about how would you feel if your husband left for 3 days and you weren't aware of where he was? He was not communicating with you, but he's able to see everything you're doing inside the home because he has the house wired with cameras. How would you ladies feel about that? Please let me know in the comments. That's it. That's all. In closing, as always, you do not have to be great to get started, but you have to get started in order to be great. And the depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. In the meantime, in between time, please remember to rate the video on your way out. Ratings get me recognized on these YT streets. Comment down below in the penny. Answer my question, married women and women who have been in long-standing relationships. How do you feel about a man that will leave his wife or his girlfriend, longtime girlfriend, for 3 days at a time, not answer you, not tell you where he's going, not even tell you he left until you go to discover he's gone? But he's got cameras watching you the whole time. Let me know how y'all feel about that down in the panic section. Also, if you have not subscribed to this channel or my backup channel, Lady Nyca Live, please subscribe to both of my channels today. The link for the second channel is always in the description box below the title of every video. So subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Tap your notification bell button, set them things to all so that each and every time I drop a pre-recorded video or go live from either channel, you guys will get a notification and you can come over and join in the conversation. That's about all I have to say about that. Have a great remainder to your Monday, people. I plan on doing the same, and I will see you guys in them YT streets and back down here in the den throughout the week. Have a good one.